Peace, King. How you feeling?
Peace. Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing excellent, brother Ty. How you doing?
All is well. All is well. I gotta thank you again. It's truly an honor, first and foremost, for coming on the platform.
Oh, no doubt, brother. It's my pleasure, my honor, brother. It's all good.
Most definitely. Okay. So for the viewers who may not know who you are, let them know what your name is and let them know where you from.
Well, Kabahaya Watha Kamene, basically, I'm an educator. Um, Worked in South Central Bronx, New York, 31 years educating. I do staff development and curriculum writing. I've written 3 books, and I do webinars, which are quick webinars, teaching our community educational methodologies. And then I do webinars that teach the content of the materials of what we need to know. There's a difference between what you teach and how you teach. And I've developed webinars to teach how to teach, and I've developed webinars to teach what to teach. And so what I do is I reach out to the community, particularly focusing on our children, on how to educate them and the importance of understanding the role of culture. As I've repeat what Dr. Wade Noble says frequently, water is to a fish as culture is to a human. You live in it.
Man, most definitely. I gotta thank you again. You done contributed so much, man. You done inspired and influenced so many people. And more importantly, like you say, the babies, the children, man, they need it the most definitely. 30 years, man. Some people don't work a job that long.
Oh
And you've been
man, and
sitting there
that's just with the
educating.
Board of Ed, brother Ty. You know, that's just with the Board of Ed because I taught college for 14 years and I do consultant work now. So I've never stopped educating, but my formal job was 31 years New York City Board of Ed. I've taught every grade and I've taught every subject. And I
Wow.
purposely did that to be able to get to the babies and to understand how to form. Because
Oh,
sometimes,
yeah.
brother Ty, as you know, as you mature, you buy into the system more, and it's hard to break away
Definitely.
from. But when you can get them when they're 4 and 5 years of age, brother, you can get some knowledge in them that they can battle the demons as they mature.
Most definitely. I think Frederick Douglass, he got a quote. What he say is, it's easier to raise strong children than it is to repair broken men. So
Yeah,
that's definitely true. I
it's
can
true.
attest to that.
Brother Ty, I remember another thing that Frederick Douglass said. He said the very best thing that ever happened to him was the very worst thing that ever happened to him. He said the best thing that ever happened to him was when he learned how to read. The worst thing that ever happened to him is once he learned how to read, he came to figure out the position he found himself in. Because when you have knowledge, then you know. Even if the tide isn't going in your favor, you know what you're experiencing. But
Oh
when you
yeah,
don't,
oh yeah.
and you see, I
And,
know, I
mhm,
understand what he meant by that, brother Ty, for in
mhm.
terms of you and in terms of me. Because once we started reading, once we started learning, now we on StreamYard talking to each other.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And that's a
I
dangerous
mean,
thing to certain people.
oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt, most definitely. And then it's like the more you learn, the more you know. It's harder to make excuses. You got to hold yourself accountable. You know better, so you know.
You got to do better.
Hmm.
You know,
So for the viewers that's
responsibility.
watching, now go
Mhm.
ahead.
No, man, I follow you, brother Ty.
Oh, I just wanted to remind them that you appeared on several Hidden Colors documentaries. I was just watching Buck Breaking. You was on there, so you
Mm.
know you done spoke with the best of the best of them. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
man. I've been in every Hidden Colors, and you know the new one's coming out. You know the one that he's working on now. You know, he's already put up on Instagram. He spoke to Sister Vicky Dillard, and today he spoke to brother Dr. Phil Valentine.
Mm,
And Wednesday, James Smalls and I are scheduled to go into the studio. So we're,
wow, that's
we're, we're working
powerful.
on the next one, brother. 1526, the American Maroon.
Oh wow, that's gonna be powerful. I look forward to that. I
Yeah, man.
definitely look forward to that. Okay, so based on our last conversation, for the viewers who may not know, what I wanted to know more about is in Black America, a lot of times when you ask Black Americans who they are or where they're from, you kind of get, in general, you get a variety of answers. So, have some people that say, well, we was already here, we didn't come over here on boats or via slavery. Then you have some people say, well, we from the Holy Land, we Israelites, and we not African. They make that clear. And you got some people like, oh, we from Africa, but we from the West Side, or we Moors. So is it any group of people on the earth that exists independently of African people?
No. And everybody's the same. And see, I'm tripping over the fact that we're fighting over things we call ourselves. It's like if we fought over our name. Your name, Ty, my name, Kaba, Jill, Judy, John, Kwame. And we all gonna fight over our name.
Yeah.
But we're all the same person. My thing is, if you're a human being, you're an African. Now, did we use the term African? I doubt it. But it's a common term that we all can use to at least be on the same page with each other. It is also what we call a landmass. And so that becomes very important. All human beings are African. Even if you're German, even if you're from Denmark or Norway, if you're Japanese or Chinese, Slovenia, if you fast-tracked your ancestry back, we'd all find ourselves in Central South America, and our ancestors would be the Twa, Mbuti, the Khoisan. 4 different names for the same people. Twa, Mbuti, Khoisan. Twa and Mbuti are more in Central Africa. The Khoisan more in South Africa. Same people.
Mm-hmm.
They are the original human family. And out of them came all of us. So whatever you call yourself, I don't care. You are Moor, okay, Moor. Okay, you are Israelite, okay, Israelite. You a Negro, okay, Negro. I don't care what you call yourself. Just understand we're all the same. Stop this nonsense. Stop it. Because it don't make no sense. We're all the same. We are from this continent that today is called Africa. All human beings. So.
Okay, well put.
Well, that's
okay, so.
Ty.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now my next question was this: a lot of times we have, I guess, disagreements or different perspectives about the transatlantic slave trade. I wanted to know, what was your perspective on that? Like, do you feel like, are the numbers correct? I was watching the old video, for instance, and it was Dr. Clark on there, and he was like, it was tens of millions, and Dr. Ben backed him up. He said it was tens of millions, but you have some people that feel like that didn't happen at all, and they discount it. So I just wanted to know, what was your perspective on Africans being taken from Africa and brought to America as slaves?
My concept is they're all right. They are all correct. They were the first human beings to come to the American continent were the Twa and Mbuti. There were 5 that we have counted so far, scientifically, migrations to the American continent: North, South, Central, and the Caribbean. And the first 3 were clearly, pigment-wise, culture-wise, African. The next 2 basically were somewhat Asian, if we want to call it that. You had the Paleo-American, or the Twa and Mbuti, you had the Clovis Folsom, and you had the Algonquin, all African. Varying forms, different times they came in waves. Thousands of years separated these migrations. The next one was the Inuit, or who we call the Eskimo. And the final one was the Asian, who was invading the Mongol invasions of Asia, and they came down into Canada, Alaska, and North America. So that when you're looking at the different migrations, there are some of us that I am sure have the original Paleo-American blood in us, but also those who were stolen from Africa post 1492 are also here. So we have to understand the waves of Africans. So everybody's right. And I'm watching them argue over each other, and I'm saying, but you're all right. Yes,
Right,
there
right.
is African blood that is the original human being, the Twa Mbuti, that we have inherited, not just from the Africans that were here, but from Native Americans who inherited the African legacy when they came here. Cherokee, Choctaw, Arapaho, Apache. Okay, they have black blood in them, but don't forget there were black people here that don't look like the people that claim to be Native Americans. They look more like you and I.
Right.
Okay, but the wave of Africans that came post 1492 also happened, and Africans were enslaved. There is a history of that. And I think we're getting it twisted, and we're losing our African minds when we are historically off point by trying to make it seem like that enslavement didn't exist. It existed. It's just the way it is. That's history. But that's not to take away from the other waves of Africans that came. There were waves of Africans during the 1300s that left West Africa and came to America. We have got to be very clear, even to the point that you speak about what do we call ourselves? What are we? Are we this? Are we that? The same is true is what happened to us as a people. I mean, did we come in the original years? I mean, there's evidence of Africans here that go back 100,000 years. There's evidence of a black woman in San Diego, California. Her bones dated 90 to 80,000 years ago.
Man.
So, we have to understand that we all have to sit down and share information. And instead of arguing with each other over who's right and who's wrong, let's put our information on the table and as a group come to a consensus of at least the science of what's going on and stop fighting amongst ourselves, particularly when some of us exhibit deep ignorance in terms of where we're coming from and why we're saying what it is that we're saying, because our children are watching us. And we must conduct ourselves in a way that they respect us. But we must act respectfully to get respect from them. And I believe we have to have open conversations and respect and love each other enough to let everybody's information go out there, and don't put somebody down because they may not think like you.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Indeed.
that I think that in answer to both of your questions, what I'm trying to do is show the roundabout way that we can begin to look at ourselves and to be able to respond to ourselves in ways that it makes sense.